Ethiopia gains major economic transformation through rural development and poverty reduction. An Ethiopian school feeding initiative gets acclamation for enhancing cognition and cutting dropouts. Hello, this is ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I'm Sentayo Tamrat with the news. Stay tuned. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his Italian counterpart Giorgia Meloni visited various development sites in Jimma on Monday. During their stay in Jimma, the two prime ministers toured development sites including the renovated Abajifar Palace, the restored Boya Lake and its newly built surrounding infrastructure, as well as other ongoing development projects throughout the city. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has been taking part as the co-host of the second United Nations Food Systems Summit here in Addis Ababa. Ethiopia and Italy have signed a memorandum of understanding to boost bilateral agricultural cooperation and support food system transformation. The agreement was signed in Addis Ababa by Ethiopia's Agriculture Minister Girma Ammente and Italy's Minister of Agriculture, Food Sovereignty and Forestry, Francesco Lollobrigida. The memorandum of understanding focuses on enhancing Ethiopia's agricultural productivity, particularly the coffee value chain, and aims to empower farmers through modern technologies and capacity building. Both ministers highlighted the importance of their partnership in promoting sustainable agriculture and strengthening food security. The deal follows the country's joint hosting of the second UN Food Systems Summit. On the sidelines of the UN Food Systems Stake Talk Summit here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia's Minister of Agriculture, Girma Ammente, held bilateral discussions with Zambia's Minister of Agriculture, Mitolo Fury, and Canada's International Development Research Center representative, Greg Hallen, to strengthen collaboration in sustainable agriculture. Minister Girma highlighted Ethiopia's vast agricultural potential and its integrated approach to food systems transformation. Both Zambia and Canada have expressed strong interest in deepening partnerships with Ethiopia in the agri-sector. Zambia's Minister Mitolo Fury commended Ethiopia's significant progress in agriculture and voiced a strong interest in fostering experience sharing, particularly in wheat production. Greg Hallen also lauded Ethiopia's inclusive efforts to advance nutrition, health, and economic development through its agricultural strategies. And in a related development, Ethiopia's Minister of Agriculture, Girma Ammente, met with the United Arab Emirates Minister of Climate Change and Environment, Amina Adhak, to explore stronger collaboration in agriculture and food systems. During their discussion, Minister Girma highlighted agriculture's role in Ethiopia's food security, the Green Legacy Initiative, and the growing exports of coffee and meat to the Middle East. He also noted ongoing talks with the Khalifa Foundation on launching date production in Ethiopia, with a joint meeting set for August. Minister Amina reaffirmed the strong UAE-Ethiopia ties and expressed interest in expanding cooperation in agriculture investment, value addition, and public-private partnerships to drive sustainable growth. The World Food Programme Country Director Zlatan Milsi said Ethiopia has undergone significant economic transformation over the past decade by focusing on rural development, poverty reduction, and modernizing key production sectors. Speaking at a panel held alongside the second United Nations Food Systems Summit here in Addis, Milisic emphasized on the significant economic transformation that Ethiopia has achieved over the past decade. Koshumalisa has more on that.
The second United Nations Food Systems Summit stock-taking moment is underway in Addis Ababa, bringing together global leaders, policymakers, and development partners to assess progress and renew commitments toward building resilient, inclusive, and sustainable food systems. The summit serves as a critical platform to review national and global efforts in transforming how food is produced, distributed, and consumed, especially in the face of climate change, conflict, and economic pressures. World Food Programme Country Director Zlatan Milisic, speaking at the second UN Food Systems Summit stocktake in Addis Ababa, said Ethiopia's consistent focus on rural transformation has lifted millions out of poverty and modernized key sectors.
The annual growth of the real gross domestic product, or GDP, averaging 10%, this economic growth lifted millions out of poverty. And it's also improved various key social indicators. This has also been accentuated by the homegrown economic reform and the 10-year development plan for Ethiopia, Pathway for Prosperity 2021 to 2030. Collectively, these frameworks evoke strategic pillars of economic growth, productivity, and competitiveness.
On her part, Ethiopia's Health Minister Dr. Maqdas Daba said Ethiopia has taken bold steps to transform its food systems through integrated planning across agriculture, climate, nutrition, and biodiversity.
Initiatives such as the Yelema Turufat mentioned earlier, the Green Legacy initiatives, which were both launched by our Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, are also nurturing the national rich climate resilient future rooted in a local food system, and also ecologically road mapping our stewardship.
The director further noted that the country's vision is reflected in initiatives like the Green Legacy, Irrigated Wheat, Bounty of the Basket, and agro-industrial parks.
This vision has been translated by several initiatives in different sectors. To name a few, the Green Legacy initiative to address environmental concerns, the Yelemat Terufat, the bounty basket to develop the livestock sector, Irrigated Wheat initiative and the agricultural commercialization cluster in the agricultural sector that demonstrated the use of enhanced inputs and technology to help transform the rural and agricultural landscape. The multi-sectoral Security Declaration to address the root causes of chronic malnutrition, the integrated agro-industrial parks designed to modernize and transform the agro-industrial sector.
The second UN Food Systems Summit concluded on July 29 in Addis Ababa, renewing global commitments and adopting key decisions to advance inclusive, sustainable, and climate-resilient food systems.
You are watching ABC World, and finally, Ethiopian School Feeding Initiative Director Fralem Shibabau hails the initiative for enhancing cognition and creating healthy society. Former Ethiopian Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn on his part highlights that the school feeding initiative has also created market linkage between home garden producers and schools. Shagaimata has more on that.
According to a recent report, 16% of Ethiopian primary school students drop out as a result of lack of food and nutritious meals. To reduce the rate of dropouts and increase the cognition capacity of students, Ethiopia is working on a school feeding initiative to provide nutritious food to children. Ethiopian School Meal Initiative Director Fralem Shibabau said that Ethiopia is committed to creating healthy society, one of which is school feeding initiative.
Healthy society is a result of good nutrition at early age. So Ethiopia has two major initiatives to address this problem. The Sakota Declaration, which works for unborn children in the first 1,000 days, and the school feeding program for the children that already came to school. Since the declaration of the Ministry of Education on National School Feeding Program Strategy in 2012 or 2013, massive changes have been taking place. The city of Addis Ababa has started a full-scale school feeding program and facilitates over 800,000 students every day receiving 2 meals a day. And thousands of mothers found a job in preparing meals for the children, and regions are following that model.
Former Prime Minister of Ethiopia Hailemariam Desalegn commended the initiative as it has boosted the cognition capacity and attendance of students, besides creating market linkage with agricultural producers.
In Addis Ababa, I think the school meal program has taken a big shape where all children in the school, especially in the primary school, are going through this program of school meal, which is very essential. Number one, the cognitive capacity of the students increases, and the attrition rate of the students has decreased tremendously. And the school performance of those children has been remarkable. And I think these are the benefits you get. But beyond that, the school meal program goes to connecting smallholder farmers and also home garden producers into the market, where you see a huge amount of food is procured to the schools for this school meal program.
Sarah Farley, Vice President of Global Food Portfolio at the Rockefeller Foundation, said that many millions of children still go to school without meals worldwide. She expressed the foundation's commitment to work on providing nutritious meals to African children with African agricultural products, citing the achievements of Brazilian government in this regard.
We want to see that increasingly each of those meals is coming from a farmer in the African context, so homegrown school feeding that provides an economic opportunity for those farmers, and that specifically the farmers using regenerative or ecological, agroecological practices are rewarded. And we think that's possible. The reason we think it's possible is we look at government programs in places like Brazil that have used policy to, one, say, we will source from our smallholder farmers. Two, we will reward farmers and in fact can pay them a little bit more when they do regenerative agriculture. And three, we see the evidence that when we do this, the profits of our farmers are increasing, in the case of Brazil, by about 106%. These are smallholder farmers making that much more money when they have the guaranteed market of a school meals program.
Ethiopia hosted a high-level convening held under the theme Nourishing the Future through Regenerative School Meals, bringing together officials from African countries and representatives of international organizations last Saturday.
And that winds the news for the hour, and a reminder of top stories. World Food Programme says Ethiopia gains major economic transformation through rural development and poverty reduction. An Ethiopian school feeding initiative gets acclamation for enhancing cognition and cutting dropouts. Thank you so much for watching us. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Ethiopia, where the story of humanity began, the birthplace of coffee, a land of rich heritage and boundless potential. It is with great honor that we co-host the second UN Food System Summit in partnership with Italy. This is a moment to take stock and to renew our shared commitment to building food systems that are resilient, inclusive, and just. 4 years ago, we came together to pursue a bold vision, food systems that are sustainable, equitable, and resilient. Food